What's going on? It's Justeeni here. I'm going to be showing you guys a Waterworld game. I'm showing both points of view this time. There's a reason why. I think it gives the bigger picture. I don't plan to do this with other games, but with this Waterworld game, I think it feels appropriate. I'm playing as the yellow Kiku. Keep that in mind. My opponent is the green Kiku. And you're going to see some really interesting dynamics here that you wouldn't expect in a Waterworld match. So let's kind of get right into things. So kind of first though, as we go through these early turns, you can see what's happening. I feel like Waterworld has become a lot more fair. And you'll see what I mean. I think it has to do with like the map gen update, the one where they changed village gen. I think there were some other things that they changed with map types because these spawns were really interesting. So they get a quick star rune and then a quick riding rune because they're already on the water. They're way first on the water, but I have my second city sooner. I actually go for really late sailing to get the port connection, so I've got a nice long-term eco, but they're on the water already. And you can see some inefficiencies here with the ports. And those inefficiencies add up, and you're going to see every little thing matters. We see an explorer here. Seems fine. But that 1 star per turn is going to be pretty important. He's on the water early though, so he does have a pretty nice advantage right now. But I can step on this ruin. He's going to continue to try to bully me. Going for the village. Makes perfect sense here. You see, I go for the rammer. Navigation. So collecting these starfish. Not really too concerned about like finding more villages, and you notice I have a lot of rafts in the water, which seems really bad, right? Normally with Waterworld, these rafts are so slow compared to scouts, they don't reveal as much fog. But because every star matters so much, rafts are actually pretty useful. Now, unfortunately, I'd love to have scouts to take them off this village, but I can use rafts to siege. Scouts aren't very good for that because it's very expensive. Go for ramming as well. Going to play a bit aggressively. They go for nav. Finally, and they're ready to play defense. There's a village back here. If they can keep this, it's a 4v2, easily winning. But I go in, go for the siege, have the rammers as support, so once they defend, I can counterattack in the siege again. That's my plan there. I didn't know how many scouts they had, but I knew they had at least 2, so they'd be able to defend no problem. Sure enough, they go explore, which makes sense. The city's gonna get sieged a lot. They might lose it, so yeah. But I go in with another rammer, and I go and I siege like this. This looks very weird, but this is actually important. I don't want to siege with the rammer. I want to siege with the raft and save my rammer for later. That's why I do it like this, letting my rammer take the damage. And you can see this raft here again. Should be a useless raft, but it's collecting ruins and starfish. I think that's something that a lot of people forget about. It is very relevant for this map type. Fighting for the ruins and starfish because you don't have a lot of economy. You need those ruins and starfish, and I'm trying to take everything I can there. Now I go Guadism organization strategy all in one. Not making more units because I want to make defenders now. Those are better long-term value. And unfortunately, I'm not able to take these starfish and ruins next to my capital because of my decision to not train units. So, that kind of sucks, but I do get farming. Now I can get a giant, which not only is a juggernaut, pretty nice here when the opponent doesn't have rammers, but also long-term value. And if we pay attention to the opponent, we can see, first off, they're down in economy, which, how did that happen? Well, yeah, they lost the city, even though they kind of had that early lead with the quick ruin. Those inefficiencies have added up. You can see they don't quite have a giant. They've been making scouts, which have not been trading well into my rammers. I now have aquatism and defenders, which they have to deal with. And they haven't really been exploring with any rafts. Like, it's all been scouts, which means when they've landed, they've lost a lot of stars there too. They are still trying to take starfish. They're taking the starfish and ruin over here. But I am able to at least deny this starfish. Juggernaut going in. Upgrading again because I'm pop capped. Now they get a pop ruin, which is very strong here. It's a shame I didn't deny that ruin. You can see how important they are. Now they drop a bomber, and this bomber is really hard to reach because I don't really have any support. They just took it out with the bomber. So the game's not over yet. If they can generate enough long-term value there, that could be a problem for me. But my Aquatism, Defender, Rammers are proving to be very strong. Eco-wise, again, they're at 14 star per turn, and once I get to run into my turn again, you can see how much eco I have. They go for climbing, which is, again, quite the investment, but pretty necessary to protect their bomber. They go for another giant, ending their turn at 16 star per turn. I only have 15. But once I get this giant, we'll be tied in eco again. So it's all about, like, this bomber and their juggernauts, which we're equal on now, versus the Defender, Aquatism, Rammer, which sound like it's going to do better. Because, like, tech-wise, you can see I have a lot of techs. The opponent, not quite so much. And eventually things are going to be cleaned up once this bomber is taken out. That'll kind of be that. The opponent does try to fight a little bit, trying to keep their bomber safe, but I'm securing even more starfish and ruins, just increasing my advantage. I get a construction ruin. Things happen. The bomber is dead. And we rejoice. But what I really want to look at is kind of like what happened this game, because if we look at the beginning again, it looked pretty bad. So I guess some little tips for the Waterworld enjoyers, which this opponent, definitely a Waterworld enjoyer. They definitely knew, like, some of the fundamentals. Like, you want these scouts on water, but you don't always want them, because you can see in this position, it looks like the opponent should be doing way better. They have all these scouts. I got this nice rammer ruin and this other rammer, but, like, look at all these rafts. These eat into my pop cap, you see here. So I can't even make any more units, and yeah, it seems like I'm just going to be down in terms of troops. So, and again, if we can see what kind of happened. So first off, like, actually, if we look even before then, back here, I don't even have any scouts. I get one here, but then they land the scout. That's 5 stars down the drain. And even though they ultimately take the city, they can't quite keep it. Especially since they decide to land here with another scout. And once they do that, they've landed 2 scouts. It's 10 stars gone. And since they don't even keep the city for that investment they made, and also this explorer earlier is hurting their economy, because if you look, like, before they take the city, they have 8 star per turn. I also have 8 star per turn, but that's with a level 2 city. They should have been ahead in economy at this point. So those little things on the Waterworld add up. Like these more efficient sieges, this raft here. Like, if we look at this 2 HP raft, that shouldn't do much. But look at what it ends up accomplishing. Like, so initially, at the start of its journey, it kind of got shot down to 4 HP, and then it healed, and then it got shot again. So it's taken 2 scout hits. That is relevant. That's attention that could have been spent elsewhere to, like, kill one of my rafts. So it takes 2 hits. That's already value. Then it just runs away. Runs away again. And now there's a ruin. It's also going towards the lighthouse. I get the ruin. Oh, there's a starfish here as well. What does this ruin give me? Gives me stars. So it's like a starfish, but better. And if we keep going, I get the lighthouse, which actually helps me get a giant. So, like, this 2 HP rammer, 2 HP raft is actually quite useful. And then another starfish there, like, so much value. And it's not even done. This costed 2 stars to make this unit, by the way. And I step on this starfish. I could have stepped on it with another unit, but keeping, like, this rammer here to heal is also useful. And at the end of the game, still alive. crazy value. Do not underestimate the rafts on Waterworld. I mean, you guys probably don't see normal tribe gameplay on Waterworld that much, but now you know. Do not underestimate rafts. That's how I'm gonna clickbait this video, but it's not clickbait if it's true, or so I've heard. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.